Hello guys and girls, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat. And get my glove on here on a cold, bitter Sunday afternoon here in Oklahoma. I'm over at Sherry and Jack's house. We've had a great week this week at the Eagle, and a great week out working this weekend. Talked to a lot of great, fantastic people in North Carolina. We'll visit about that in just a minute. But it is bitter cold here in Oklahoma. You know, all fall, all through the month of November, December, when a lot of times we have really bad weather, and some of y'all had bad weather. I was talking of Sunday afternoons, it was 70, 75 degrees, absolutely fantastic. And but I'm going to tell you what, it's got cold. I'm going to put my top up. It's got cold. The wind's blowing from behind me. I kind of got behind some trees here. I got behind some trees where it covers my head, don't I? I can't even see out. I can't even see out. But we got the wind blowing. I got behind some trees to get out of the wind. The temperature is only in the 30s, which is tolerable, but it's got a wind that just bites through you, just cuts through you. And we'll actually have some snow forecast this week. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But we had a great week at the Eagle this week. It's just Chris and I worked last Friday with my buddy Roland Martin at the O'Reilly Leadership Conference down in Dallas, Texas. We had 8,000 O'Reilly people down there and just had a fantastic evening. Roland and I had a great time. Roland and I had a great time visiting, catching up with each other. We visited with Greg Johnson, the CEO of O'Reilly, a little bit about fishing and hunting. He loves to fish and hunt. It's just wonderful to promote for a great company like O'Reilly Auto Parts, when a lot of the top people in that company and a lot of the people all the way down working in all the stores are like love the outdoors, love to fish and hunt. And Greg is definitely one of them that loves that. And so he's more of a hunter than he is a fisherman. But he's a pretty doggone good fisherman too. But duck hunting, deer hunting, I mean, he gets after it. He gets after it. So we had a great time down there last Friday night. But then I went back to the ranch Saturday and been at the ranch all week. The only time we left the ranch all week long was to go to church on Sunday. So Chris and I just have had a fantastic time down there together. She did the physical therapy and walked. Really, really good. I'm telling you, she's gaining on her walker. Now, we're still holding her and we're still helping her, but she's getting closer and closer and closer. And when we went to church this morning, when we got out of the car, getting ready to go in church, I was getting ready to put her in her wheelchair. I parked the wheelchair a little bit further back so she would have to walk a little bit. And this is after church. And we come back out, and I parked the wheelchair a little bit further back. And I got up and I said, oh, you're going to have to take a couple of steps, honey. And so I got a hold of her and standing in front of her. And so she stepped, and then she took that right step with her right leg, which she can't feel, you know. That's the right leg that she's not getting any impulses from her brain telling it to move. And she took that step, and then she took the other step and took one more step. And I said, you did that all by yourself. I'm just holding you here. You did all that by yourself. You took those steps to walk to the car. And we went out with all the family, had the kids and grandkids. Actually, Lightning was with us and one of his buddies. And I think it was about 12 of us, a dozen of us, ate at what we call chochos. That's a Chinese buffet. And we just had a great dinner, a great time visiting with each other, and everybody ate more than they should, obviously. But so it's such a wonderful thing when you can get together with your family and do that. I mean, it's just you know, I know a lot of you, and we've talked about it, and we've prayed with some of you about, you know, family problems that you may have, but keeping your family together should be the number one priority, the number one goal in your life. It's more important than your job. It's more important than your friends. It's more important than your hobby or your occupation. You might love to fish or hunt or whatever you like to do. Keeping your family together and keeping your family loving each other and doing things together is the most important thing. God created families. God created families. When God created Adam, God created Eve. He allowed them then to have children, and their family was a dysfunctional family. You know, one brother killed the other. But God created families, and He meant it to be that way. And you know, they would put a little deal up in church this morning. They call it the umbrella situation, and it shows umbrellas, which we carry an umbrella. We carry an umbrella to keep dry when it rains, you know, to keep the rain off of it. But the big umbrella is Jesus Christ. We're all under the umbrella of Jesus Christ. The next umbrella, which is a little bit smaller umbrella, but it's over the other umbrellas to blow it, is the man, the husband in a family. And that man is to protect his wife and take care of his wife and take care of his family. Then the next umbrella is the wife holding an umbrella. And she is to protect her kids and to help her and help her husband, honor God. So her responsibilities goes up, her responsibilities goes down. The next down is the kids. Under the kids' umbrellas, they have only two responsibilities. They need to respect and honor their parents, and they need to obey them. That's the only responsibilities that they have. And if they do that, God tells you that those kids are going to have a long, productive life. So that deal of obeying and honoring your parents comes with a promise that you will have a long life. So, that's how important the family is to God. So I look around and I saw the kids and grandkids and Mandy and of course Chris's aunt. We're all there, and then Lightning and one of his buddies, and it's a dozen of us, a family eating Sunday afternoon dinner together at a Chinese restaurant. That might not sound like it's too American, whatever, but I'm telling you, that is just so vitally important. So, those of you that have wives and kids, and sometimes I know you might want to kill them all. But that old deal that the preacher mentioned this morning, he's talking to some people tell their kids. I heard Sherry tell that to her kids. I brought you into this world, I can take you out. But those statements are just statements. But keeping your family together is just such an important thing. And husbands, wives, children ought to be working at that every single day, because as you get older in life, that becomes more and more and more important to you. And as you raise kids and bring them into the world and turn them into adults and turn them into fathers and mothers and grandmas and granddads, their lives will be better. The people's lives that they're around and influence will be better if you keep that family together. It's just such an important thing. But Chris and I had a great time at the ranch this week. Did not do any fishing. I did walk down to the dock a couple of days and made a few casts. Did not get a bite. Not a single bite. Not a single bite. Drug a slow roller spinnerbait around on the bottom and didn't catch anything. And I throwed a crappie magic, a Lucky Strike crappie magic out there a little bit, fished it a while, did not get a bite on it either. So fishing is really tough right now. I noticed that some of my buddies down at OH Ivy, there was a few more big fish showed up down there this week. And one of my buddies caught one almost 10 pounds and one a little bit over 10 pounds. And he caught 6 fish that day, so that's pretty good. He sent me pictures of them. He must have been holding them way out because they looked like 14 pounders. I thought, oh my gosh, sent him a nut bag. I said, how big were those fish anyway? And they were 9, 13, and 10.5 or something like that. They were really big fish, but not 12 or 14 pounders. But there were some 12, 13 pounders caught down there this week, so it's still a great time to catch the big fish. But fishing is, in general, pretty doggone tough right now. So Chris and I spent the whole week at the ranch. I brought her back over here to Sherry. Sherry and Jack's not here. We're not here this week. They're out in California visiting family out there. Jack's family is from California, so they were out there. And Jack's got a new grandbaby that they went out and saw that new grandbaby for the first time. It just came into the world, and they had a great time out there. And I got back here. I went over to Angler's Choice Marine over in North Carolina. In North Carolina, and Livingston, North Carolina. You might know Livingston, North Carolina. Not Livingston, Lexington, North Carolina. Lexington, North Carolina is the home of David Fritz, great tournament fisherman. David was there at the promotion also, as well as David Walker was there, and Josh Bertrand. We had a great promotion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people showed up. Thank y'all so much. Those of y'all that came, many of y'all came that talk about being on our social media, being on our YouTube, being on our Facebook, being on our Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing channel. If you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing, that's a new channel we just started. A little bit under 5,000 people on there so far. I've had it going for 3 or 4 weeks. I think about 43 or 4,400 on there. Subscribe to Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing. That's where all the fishing stuff is going to end up being. That and on national television. ESPN 2 on Saturday morning at 7:30, Discovery Channel Sunday morning. We're on The Pursuit, WFN, Heartland, AT&T Sports Southwest, Action, lots and lots of networks, throughout the week. But Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing is where our social media fishing is now, Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing. So jump over there and get on that, as well as on Facebook. We got over 600,000 people on Facebook. So, but a lot of you came to that appearance we had at Angler's Choice Marine, and they had great deals going on Ranger boats, nitro boats. And there was some boats bought yesterday. People got them some brand new Ranger boats, brand new nitro boats yesterday. They've got tracker pontoon boats out there. They had a really good supply of them. And if you've been trying to buy boats the last 2 or 3 years, you know it's difficult to find inventory. It's difficult to find something to buy, and because there's been a shortage there, but a lot of it because of the chip problem, just like everything else. But Angler's Choice Marine had a really great inventory. They got 3 locations, and they had a really great inventory. So we had a great time over there. I visited with, I don't know how many people, probably a couple, 200 or 300 that from our social media, as well as several hundred others. So we just had a great time over there. I did not get back until Sherry and Jack's house until after 2 o'clock this morning. I'm telling you, we got delayed a little bit. Supposed to get back about to Tulsa a little bit before midnight. After midnight, we were still in Atlanta, sitting on the airport. They had maintenance problems, and they fixed them. It's always good to fix a maintenance problem if you're going to fly on an airplane. So they got that fixed. It was about 12:30 before we got off the ground down there in Memphis, and it was after 2 o'clock before I got back here in Sherry's house, and then got up this morning and went to church, and we're getting ready to go back to the ranch. We're on our way back to the ranch just as soon as I get this finished right here, and Chris gets her hair done. Sherry's giving her a shower and washing her hair and doing all that, so Chris is going to have real pretty hair for me this week. We'll be back at the ranch a little bit later this evening and having a great time down there. And so we had a good week. The deer all doing well. Those of you wondering about the deer, they're all doing well. We haven't had any sicknesses or illness or deaths. We might have had a few sicknesses the last couple, 2 or 3 weeks, but everybody's staying alive. And some of the deer are battling a little bit of a cold problem, but this time of the year we all battle that, especially when you have 70 degrees one day and 30 degrees the next. Chill temperature right now is probably in the 20s where I'm standing right now. I am a little bit out of the wind with these trees back behind me. I got tucked in behind these trees to try to get out of that wind a little bit, because that wind will just cut right through you. This coming week, we got another great week planned. We're going to be at the ranch most of the week. And but now next weekend, I will be at Vic's Sports Center. That's in Kent, Ohio. It's about an hour away from, it's not very far, about 15-20 minutes away from Akron, Canton, Akron. It's about 45 minutes or an hour away from Cleveland. Vic's Sports Center. They're another big Ranger dealer and Mercury dealer, and I'll be up there for their big open house this coming Saturday. And I think, I don't even know what day that is. That may be like the 28th. Does that sound about right to y'all? But whatever. I'll be there Saturday only. I think their open house is either Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure which, but I will be there Saturday only. So I'll be there Saturday at Vic's Sports Center. So those of you that are within an hour, 2-3 hour drive, come and see us over there. I'm sure they'll have a lot of great things going on there at Vic's. Vic's has been a good personal friend of mine for a long time. He fished tournaments for a long time, was a great tournament fisherman. I remember him winning an FLW tournament, I think, at Lake Dardanelle. And he just did a great job over there. But he's a super fisherman and super family man. You know, has got a house full of kids, a beautiful wife, and they've got a great sports center there. And so if you're looking for a boat, or if you just want to get out and have a great time next Saturday, come by and visit. We'll be there pretty much all day. I'm flying in on a Friday night, getting there late Friday night, and then flying out sometimes about the last plane that gets out of Cleveland, coming back to Oklahoma on that Saturday. But we'll be at Vic's Sports Center this coming Saturday. I believe that is January 28th, if that's what next Saturday is. And we'll be there all day at Vic's Sports Center. So come by and see me over there. Other than that, the big event that's happening at the ranch, we still have not had a drop of rain in January. We've had some little misty stuff and everything, but no measurable amounts of rain at all. We did get the ground kind of wet the other day with this little mist that was falling. But we have forecast Tuesday 1 to 3 inches of snow. 1 to 3 inches of snow. It's supposed to start raining, then change to snow, and then Tuesday night it says 1 to 3 inches. Now I don't know if that's 1 to 3 inches plus 1 to 3 inches or 1 to 3 inches total. I was looking on the Weather Channel app on my iPhone, and that's what it said. So anyway. We're looking forward to that. It's a big deal. I know a lot of you live where it snows, probably already sick of looking snow here in the middle of January, toward the end of January we are right now. But for us to get snow in southern Oklahoma, it's a real treat. We love it, and we love to look out and see it. Just looks like it, you know, in the wintertime when you got no leaves on the trees, everything's kind of dull and brown looking, and then you look out there and it's all beautiful white and just clean. And of course, where we are, and with all of our deer, it doesn't take long. You got a lot of deer tracks in there, but it just looks like a refreshing new arrival to the earth when it snows on us down there. So it's really beautiful. And then we're going to be bringing Chris back over here to spend a couple days with Sherry while I go up to Cleveland, Ohio. So we're looking forward to a really beautiful week this week. If you're good fishing right now, crappie fishing's good in a lot of places. Crappie move up and down a lot this time of the year. One of the keys to catching crappie is find out whatever depth they are. They are layered at certain depths, and that layer will move up and down. Crappie might start out really, really deep early in the morning this time of the year. If you got a bright, sunshiny day, they may be up only 5 or 10 foot deep during the middle of the day. So you want to try a lot of depths as you're fishing for crappie. The bass are beginning to suspend, so those of you that's using live scope locators to find them, right now is a good time to do it. A good thing to do is concentrate on steep coves and points down around the dam, just about any lake that you fish for. Right now, fish are starting to hit some jerkbaits too. If you're going to jerkbait fish, you want to use suspended jerk baits where you can jerk them down and stop and they won't float back up to the top. Those are suspended jerk baits. The lighter the line you use, the more bites you're going to get. And I'm talking about 6-pound test line, not 8 or 10-pound test line, which is light line, but 6-pound test line. 6-pound test line will get you a lot of bites this time of the year. And make sure you have a good plug knocker out there, because those jerk baits are getting kind of expensive nowadays. You get them hung up, you want to get them back. But fishing should be good. The weather's going to be really the worst weather we've had, except for that one little 3 or 4 day cold spell that we had right before Christmas. We're going to have nights down freezing or below. I think I looked on the 15-day forecast, which I look at about every day, and see what's going to be 2 weeks out. And we're still forecast to be about 50 degrees or above, 50 to 55 every single day. I think the lows are around 27.8 to about 32, so really it's a pretty doggone mild winter so far. So you have a chance to go fishing, go out there, the fishing's good. I know a lot of you live in Florida, it's going to be 70, 75 degrees, and you go fishing every day no matter what. But have you a great one out there. Chris and I are doing wonderful. We appreciate your prayers. Chris is getting better all the time. That girl's going to be walking sometime soon. I don't know exactly when, but it's going to be sometime soon. Have you a great one out there this week. I'm going to get it out of this cold, but remember, I sure do love you.